them come. This is their fate.
All right. Let me get my Birdman hands in there. All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay. Here are my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got a lot to talk about because of the state of play dropping out of nowhere. We got some cool information on the Rogue Ally X. And we got a lot of other stuff to talk about as well. But before we get started, per usual, Jalen, Josh, tell the people how you been, what you've been up to, what you've been doing, what you've been playing, how's life going. Talk to the people.
All right. What's up, people? What's up, internets?
Internets.
I've had a pretty easygoing week. Just work's been good. Hanging out with the family, the little ones, talking a lot. Mostly baby talk, but when they get to that point where they're trying to have a whole conversation with you, like, I don't understand what you're saying, but I appreciate the effort.
Yep.
So that's always good. And the weather's been kind of all over the place, a lot of rain, but then the next day it's super hot and humid. But we're coming up upon the rainy season in Japan, so we're going to get like a month of rain coming up soon. But it's still going to be super hot and humid. So not looking forward to that, but just enjoying the sunny weather. Going out for walks, trying to take a lot of pictures and videos, and I'm getting into editing videos a little bit more. Video editing is a lot, and photo editing is like really time consuming, so I don't like that part of it, but it's easier if I do it in short bursts, instead of trying to do 500 photos from one trip, try to have smaller batches and do it. That way, at least I can get through a lot of the not good photos and get them out of the way, so I can start sharing it with family and stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't done too much entertainment wise. So play a little bit of Multiversus. I was looking forward to it. And I thought I would play a lot of it this week. I just haven't had the time. But we played last week when the game dropped, it was fun. What I can say is I like that the game is back. I did enjoy Multiversus when it came out initially. There are like some small things like in comparison to Smash that I don't like or I prefer about Smash. Multiversus still has its own fun characters and mechanics and things like that. And personally, I haven't had too many issues with it. There's some like small, I guess not small. Sometimes it feels inconsistent with like some interactions and stuff like that. But overall, I had a good time. But I didn't get a chance to play online too much. But I know y'all play a lot of online matches, so maybe I can talk about that a bit.
We're gonna talk about
that. Yeah. Other than that, I guess the biggest thing I did was I went out to the movies to see Furiosa. Yeah, the Mad Max movie, and it was actually really good.
Yeah.
Fury Road was one of my favorite movies when it came out, back when I was working at the movie theater, and so I saw that like 6 times in the theater.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you finna see that movie again, man?
Yeah, it was great. It
was one of those movies. It was definitely one of those movies.
Just turn off your brain and just watch the colorful explosions for 2 hours. It was really good though. And Furiosa is also very good, but it's a different type of movie. So like I said, Mad Max, Fury Road, not much story. They kind of just set it up and then they just go and you just watch them go through the journey. Furiosa is like a prequel, but they spend a lot of time introducing a lot of characters, a lot of world building, a lot of dialogue, a lot of conversation. It's literally split up into different chapters where they have like chapter titles in the movie. So, but it's also still high octane, a lot of driving, explosions, and shooting. And I watched it in IMAX. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely recommend it in IMAX because they really put in the work on the audio for those cars, and it really makes it feel like you got an 18-wheeler right next to you.
Nice.
So that was probably the best part. But what I will say, I felt really exhausted after the movie because they had the story and the lore and the plot work in my brain, and then all the explosions and stuff also work in my brain. So I was tired after, but it was a good experience. And Chris Hemsworth is the villain in the movie. He's the actor for Thor, and honestly, I didn't expect too much from him because I'm so used to him being Thor that I don't expect him to do anything different. But he was actually really good. To be fair, he's still very Chris Hemsworth-ish, very similar to performances you see in Thor, but he makes it a lot very interesting and fun. So after the movie was done, like I definitely I want to see it again. I just don't have the time, and plus, tickets are like $30 or something nowadays. Um, but I'll probably see it again. But yeah, his performance was good, and I forget. I don't. What's the lady's name? Anne Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
She also did did a good job. So
Okay.
definitely recommend it. What's the other? There was one other thing I did. Oh, I've been playing. Yeah, so I'm on my free to play search.
Okay.
Marvel Snap not hitting, so I was looking forward to another game, and I might have found the one that I like, but we'll see. Star Wars. I love Star Wars. There's not enough Star Wars games out. And Star Wars Hunters just came out. This is a Overwatch style Star Wars hero shooter. Now, can y'all guess what systems this is on?
I'm assuming you said mobile, so I'm assuming it's just gonna be Android and Apple.
Yes, almost. Android, Apple, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh, interesting.
Which, to be honest, when the game was first announced, it was like a Nintendo Switch exclusive, but then it came to iOS and stuff like that. But I've tried it on all of it. Quickly, the Switch version is not really that good. Low resolution, 30 FPS. You might as well just play it on your phone because it's gonna run better. So I've been playing on my phone with the controller. It's real simplistic gameplay. The maps are small. It's 4v4. Since you're playing on phones, they got like auto shooting or a heavy aim assist. So it's not like a real competitive shooter like you would have with like an Overwatch. But it actually feels very fun. The characters are simplistic, but they all have, they are a good ability, so they feel effective. But mainly it reminds me of a game like back in like the PS2 or PS3 era, kind of like what was it? Ratchet and Clank Deadlock, when they like add a multiplayer mode where you can play with your brother, and the multiplayer mode kind of sucks and it's not that deep, but you just play it for fun and split screen and you shoot each other up for a couple times. So that's kind of the vein where it feels like for me. It's like a 5-minute match. I can play, while I'm waiting for something, play 2 matches, shoot up some people, and then it'd be done. So anyways, I've been playing that. It just came out, so I don't know if it's about to be ruined by bad progression or something like that. But it was funny because I thought it would be terrible, but I ended up actually liking it. So, but as far as video games, that's it for me. I'm almost to Moog in Elden Ring. I'm at like level 60. I kind of blew through the game, but we'll see. The DLC is coming out very soon. And people got actually, I think they just did a review drop of Elden Ring. I don't know if we'll talk about it, but just the size is about 30 hours or so, and supposedly 100 weapons. So this is going to be a very big expansion to, I guess, justify that $40 price. But that's it for my week.
Okay. Well, that's a lot definitely Furiosa is one of those movies I am trying to find a way to get to the movie theaters for, which I might be able to do sometime next week. But yeah, it's one of those for sure. But Jalen, tell the people how you been, what you been up to, what you been doing, what you been playing. How's life going?
Yeah, so that has stated before, staying consistent with working out, kind of getting back to the grind with that. I've been hooping, trying to make sure my body don't get beat up, man. So my key
How
was
many
getting
times
messed
you
up
work
lately.
out a week?
Try to do at least 3.
3 times a week. Okay.
3
Yeah.
times. For how long? An hour?
It depends on how like focused I am. If I'm moving like at a good pace and stuff, I can do like 45 minutes to an hour. But if I'm on my phone and stuff like that, it can take a little bit more. But so yeah, I be on that, and then I be hooping and stuff in it. In between, I try to hoop at least 2 times a week too. So
So, sorry to interrupt. I got a question about working out. I haven't gone to the gym, but I've been trying to do some workouts throughout the day. But in the mornings, or I guess for both of y'all, do y'all feel like you have an appetite in the morning? Or for you, Jalen, do you have an appetite before you go to the gym? Because I feel like for me, I try to eat, but then like I don't feel good after because I don't know, my body's not ready to eat or something in the morning. Um, do you ever
I,
have that type of feeling?
mm,
uh, I personally don't. Before I go, I don't really. It's probably not necessarily the best thing, but I don't really eat breakfast. When I go to work, I usually eat like a little granola bar or something like that. That's
Hmm.
usually like my breakfast until I eat lunch or whatever, something to tide me over. It's like working out. I don't like working out with food in my stomach. So if I go work out in the morning, I'm not eating.
Hmm.
And then if I am gonna go work out, later on in the daytime or something like that, I don't like to be like eat like a heavier meal or something like that. I try to eat like little to no food when I go work out.
Okay. So yeah, it maybe something light might fit better for me, like a granola bar, like you said. But okay.
Yeah, I ain't
yeah,
working out been full.
yeah. I stopped eating in the morning as well, and that's kind of. I just stopped portioning out my meals basically better to not having. I normally never have an appetite in the morning, but now it's just like to a point where if I eat anything, it does make my body feel weird. Where it's like you shouldn't have ate this early because you
Hmm.
probably full from the last night. So that is something also that I've just started to do is just not eat until late in the day, like 2 o'clock. Which isn't, I don't know. I just my body system is set up that way now. It's not like it's a bad thing. It's just that's how eat now. Um, so I think what you've probably been in engaged with most of your life is just basically I don't eat in the morning, so it's just gonna feel weird if you're trying to eat to go work out versus just going to work out, making sure you're very hydrated, and then just sticking to your regular eating schedule. Especially if you get hungry after the workout, I think that would be the best way to
Hmm.
do it. You know.
Yeah, probably because I've been trying to have more protein and electrolytes. So something light in the morning. I'm gonna try that and see if that work out better for me. But yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it would be better to have a full, not full, too full, but have a full meal. That way, have some calories to burn. But that might not be the best.
Yeah. Just depends, really.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes people eat lighter, and then some people have like pre-workouts and stuff like that. To help give them energy.
Yeah, shakes and things. But I feel like
Yeah,
I'm always very energetic in the morning and not energetic. I think working out in the morning gives me more energy than not working out in the mornings. Like if I'm going to get up anyway, I think it just energizes me a little bit more versus some people like to do it at night to wear themselves out or get tired. I feel like it does the opposite for me. So it all just depends on the person really.
yeah.
But yeah. Any games you've been playing, Jalen?
Um, Pretty much just Final Fantasy. Actually, haven't played Helldivers this week, and then Multiversus.
Hmm.
So, still enjoying Final Fantasy, taking my time playing it. Um, or Multiversus. Yeah, man, I got a lot to say about that.
Not a
It's a
lot
funny
to
game.
say.
It's a
You got
funny
a
game.
lot
I'm gonna say
to
that.
say.
But yeah, that game need a lot of. But I still have fun with it though. That's not to say that it's like a horrible game or nothing like that. It's just, but other than that, between Final Fantasy and I guess I ain't playing Helldivers, the Multiverses. That's all my week consisted of with games and stuff like that. Just trying to free up some space on my Xbox so I can download Diablo 5 or 4 or whatever which one it is.
Don't even know the thing. It's 4. But yeah, you need to go ahead and get on that, my guy. But yeah, we've been playing a lot of Multiverses, kind of similar to what they were saying. I've been playing a lot of that. I've been playing a lot of Like a Dragon. Really just watching it because it's literally like, bruh, so many cutscenes. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get through this game because there's just too many. It's too many. I had to cut the game off yesterday. I was like, bro, I want to shut it down so I can play Multiverses, but this cutscene is like forever. So I was just like, forget it. I'll just come back to it later. But it was like, you know how you like start something and you want to finish it, but you feel like, okay, this thing is never ending. It felt like maybe you'll probably feel the same way you felt when you was playing Metal Gear Solid 4. Because there's just too many cutscenes. It's just way too many. Like, I'm over it already. And I'm only like 10 hours in.
Yeah,
but
they
yeah.
gotta let those actors that they paid for do their thing.
Yeah, I suppose,
About
man.
to get 30, 40-minute cutscenes every 10 minutes.
Bro, about nothing. They just be sitting on the couch talking to about life. I'm like, bro, y'all need to get to the action, bro. But I don't know what make them popular. I'm trying to find out if I hate this
I think
game
it's
by the
more.
end of it, and I was still gonna
Well,
hate
yeah,
it.
I
So.
don't know how you're gonna enjoy the whole package, but I guess it's supposed to be about that type of drama. Like if you was watching like a crime show where people hanging out and they buddy blah blah blah, and then at the end of it they got to kill each other. It's like, oh, now we built this whole relationship. Now you care about the stakes, so they're trying to
Gotcha.
get you into the story.
Yeah, and I'm trying to give it its grace too, because I don't want to be like rushing stuff, especially when it's like I'm coming into a different experience versus what I normally play. So I don't want to rush it, but I am gonna say something if I don't like it by the end of it. And I'm gonna tell you why. But anyways, I've been playing that and ton of Multiverses, and I did end up watching Doom Part 2 over the weekend on my TV. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go no theater or nothing. I really wanted to see it in theaters, but man, it was so much better than Doom Part 1, because Doom Part 1 was the setup. Everything you had to do was just wait for a setup. You had to kind of just look at the shots, nothing really going on, and you just had to deal with that, which is fine. But it took me almost 6 times to get through that movie because I kept falling asleep. It was pretty, but it just wasn't nothing happening really to me. That was not the case with Doom Part 2. I was edge of my seat, ready to see what happened next. I really loved the story, and I loved like all the scenes and how they kind of presented the story. So it's on Max. If you haven't checked it out, you can check it out on there. But if you couldn't get into the first one, trust me, you probably weren't the only one. I think a lot of people, I was talking to a colleague of mine that was talking about it, and he was like, I just couldn't get to the first one. I was like, man, I'm trying to tell you, it took me 6 times to get through that first one. So I'm not saying that it's for everybody, but I'm saying that if you do get past that first one, the second one is a much better experience because it's a full-fledged kind of movie and it's not trying to set up. It's obviously the first one is needed to set up the whole experience, but obviously one is better than the other. In my opinion, it's very clear, but maybe others don't. It's clear to me though. But yeah, that was pretty much all I did. Took the kids out, we took them to the park, went to have some fun, did some cool dad things recently, but same old, getting through the day, getting through the life, getting through the job. That's all it is, all ever gonna be. But we're gonna play some games in between. Ain't that right, Jalen? Multiverse. Until we get desynchronized. Alright, let's get into the multiverse. Let's talk about some of the ups, the downs, the woes of the Multiversus game.
The
So
inconsistencies.
the inconsistencies is insane. I guess I'm gonna dump into the tier list a little bit later, but so let's not talk about characters right now. Let's talk about the game and the structure of it. Let's talk about how the expectations of what we thought was going to happen in regard to the game structure, and then what kind of was served up. So I guess I'll just start with fundamentals for myself, and then I'll let y'all go on there. I'll start with the start menu and everything like that. Simply put, I do think the setup of the menus got better. I do think it's a lot more readable. It's a lot more better. It's better to understand. It's not as cluttered as it used to be, and it's not as how do you say complicated when it comes to menus inside of menus. It feels like everything has a little bit more of a lift and is top of mind on how to get back to something versus when you dig into something, it didn't feel like you had a really understanding of how to get back or where to go exactly. I think with the little headers at the top, I think they did a really good job there. But fundamentally, starting it up, booting it up, getting into a game, menu wise, I think that they did succeed in making it better. I'm not saying it's great, but they definitely made it better. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and talk about some things you saw before that are maybe either different now, poorly, bad, good, whatever. I just want to open it up to y'all to pick something and kind of talk through it.
Yeah. The UI overall, yeah, I think is better. It still can have a lot of improvements, but like you said, at least it does feel more readable, especially that it has a lot more content. And I guess that's the biggest thing that I'll praise for now, that the game felt kind of bare bones in the original release.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this feels like it has a lot of content, where they have like their single player mode there, even though it's kind of like a basic mode. Everything is there. The shop is there. It's got a bunch of stuff. They got recommended items based on what you have in your inventory, and so it feels like overall the package is finished.
Okay, package. Okay, no, I mean it wasn't beta, but yeah, that does make it does add to the menu thing in the UI, but on its own, yes, it's a big difference of just feeling like a game is technically complete, even though it may not be so complete. I guess.
Yeah, just before it was only like, play online,
Yeah,
maybe training, and then look at your inventory. Now, and then it had a bunch of grayed out stuff. So obviously it felt finished, but now everything is there. And I mainly bring it up because it makes the game feel like, like I said, a fully finished package. Because a lot of games come out, even if they're full price, it still feels like this is it. We got quick play, and then that's it. That's the only mode you have day one. So Multiversus, I like that they have the events page, so that it feels like in the future, if there's something, they can populate it with more modes and things like that. Even though it's still pretty straightforward, where you got the 2v2 or 1v1 modes. Yeah, so that's all I'll say about the UI for now. Was it anything you noticed about it, Jalen?
As far as like the UI goes,
or just whatever.
I mean, I think one thing that I did notice, I don't remember how it was like earlier or about like a year, almost 2 years ago with it. But I do appreciate how fast that they put you in games. I don't know if that got something to do with, what I'm saying, if they don't care about how good the connection is, but the matchmaking time is pretty quickly. Like, you don't got much time to do anything in between. Like, if you're trying to go to the bathroom or, what I'm saying, maybe go fetch the newspaper or something like that, you ain't got time to do none of that. Because they going to put you in a game, like, quick, fast, and in a hurry. So, I can definitely say that was, like, a huge improvement. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I mean, I know we can talk a little bit about other stuff. That's something quick I'll just say.
Yeah, let's talk about the first problem, in my opinion. I don't know if it's a problem. It's a problem. I think every game has it, but it is a little bit stark when it comes to these characters and the type of characters that are winning matches, and when it comes to like really getting competitive in a game, there's a lot of balance and things that may need to be taken care of. But let's talk about a tier list at first, and let's talk through these characters. So this is a tier list on PCGamesN.com. Just pulled up a random character list. I just thought I already know what I'm going to see at the top, and I was 100% right. We have S tier as Arya Stark, which is kind of surprising. I don't fight many Aryas. Bugs Bunny, I already knew that was there. Shaggy, I already knew that was there. And then Banana Guard. Those are the S tier, simply due to their simplicity and power. And their, they priority. Honestly, there is a lot of weird things that happen with the game in regards to just priority. And I'm not here just saying you can't win against them. I'm saying that it is very easy for them to win against you if you are even remotely good and they are very much just starting off. Banana Guard, all you gotta do is touch you, and you're pretty much gone. But Shaggy, Bugs Bunny, these are very spammy but effective characters. So let's talk about those characters in itself right there. How do we feel about Shaggy, Banana Guard, Bugs Bunny, and Arya being at the S tier?
Well, Josh ain't go against a Banana Guard yet, have you?
No, I haven't seen a Banana Guard yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted you to go against one of them. So, I mean, let's start with this. The game has a lot of hit stun in it, which, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. So the game got a lot of hit stun. The reason that becomes a problem is because any type, if person A gets hit, there's enough stun in a game where if you're trying to time something in the game, then your timing can be off by like a half second, and now you're touching the hit where the hit took place at, and therefore you take everything that the other person took with that same hit. So it ain't like it's lessened or nope, I touch you with my sword is frozen here. If your player come touch or try to intervene, they gonna get hit by the sword too. The next thing is the hitboxes. So you take the hit stun and then you take the hitboxes. The person becomes a hitbox when they doing a move. So if I swing my sword, instead of having a disjointed hitbox, I'm a whole hitbox. So touch me. And you can't intervene and things like that. So that becomes a problem when players have priority. So now let's go back to Banana Guard. When he's doing his little spear or something like that, he becomes a hitbox. Now he pokes. I'm timing Banana Guard with my spear. I'm like, all right, I don't want to get hit by the spear. My teammate got hit by the spear. So my timing, how I was going to jump over him, if I touch my teammate or him or something like that, now I get hit by the spear, even though I ain't touching the spear. And then now he's scraping me. So it's things like that. Like I can't out prioritize something that already has the hit stun going on my teammate or Banana Guard. So that becomes a problem, especially when he's killing people at 80, 90 from the middle of the stage and not even charging up a move or nothing. He's just walking across the stage using, I'm guessing it's a side B. I ain't played with him, but
yeah,
he's just charging with a spear. Like it don't take any, it's almost like Taz, bro. And the game has too much freezing and stun and stuff that goes on. And we're not going to talk about just regular latency because you're playing online. Those precision inputs and things that you need, you can't do that in that game, man. Like it takes a lot to do that in that game. I say it's impossible playing. As somebody who plays Smash and know about those precision, I'm not the best at Smash, but Smash is way more tolerable. That game, you can't do it, man. And then they don't help that this game got a doggone, like, it's a buffer with the inputs. I mean, I be messing up inputs in that game all the time because of the buffer.
Yeah. So those are very potent and like, go ahead.
No, I was going to say good technical breakdown, Jalen, because I was going to say the game felt trash in a lot of ways. But Jalen gave us our good technical reasoning. But yeah, I was trying to think about how to describe the game because it's fun, but it's consistently inconsistent. I feel like where there's always something where it's like, okay, Jalen getting hit right now. I'm gonna run up behind the guy, punch him in the back, and save my teammate. And that interaction never plays out how I think it's gonna play out in my head. Part of that, is just experience. Like you learn stuff and how stuff actually happens that you gotta, oh well, maybe I gotta wait or do this, blah blah blah. But that game is always weird, where it's like, oh, I'm about to punch Bugs Bunny in the back. I'm gonna get sucked up by some sort of rocket or something that he's riding on, even though I'm behind him, and then it's gonna knock me forward. It's like, okay, why would the game act like that? And it's always just interactions like that makes it feel inconsistent, and those inconsistencies kind of leave a bad taste in my mouth, I would say. That plus a lot of characters being not unbalanced or like OP, but exploitable is what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, Banana Guard has some sort of properties on his spear that makes it exploitable. And with those types of games, people are going to exploit it. They're going to, playing those corner games, trying to really just exploit the weaknesses of the gameplay system. So yeah, that's what I've been experiencing so far. Even though the few matches that I played, Bugs Bunny, he's still doing his thing. A very exploitable character. Same thing with Shaggy. If you only want to do one type of move the whole game, it's gonna be effective.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we all are agreeing with at least Bugs Bunny, Shaggy, and Banana Girl. I'm not sure about Arya Stark, honestly, but does that kind of align with our S tier?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bugs Bunny is similar to Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry are a little bit more technical. You need to know what you're doing with Bugs Bunny and plan things out. I mean, there's certain things like that stupid Acme rocket and how big the hitbox is, and all those sorts of things. Like, but I think you take a little bit more skill versus Banana Guard and Shaggy. We fought Shaggy's where all he do is get behind his teammate and kick across the stage. Like you throw your basketball at him with LeBron James, it hit him a little bit, but somehow you still get hit by his kick, even if his kick ain't touching you. You still get it. Like, and they literally, I'm an uppercut up B, I'm gonna come down with my down B, and then I'm gonna kick across when I'm on the ground. If I'm on the ground, I'm kicking. If I'm in the air, I might kick or I might uppercut. I ain't decided yet. But if your best believe if your damage up, all they doing is kicking across the stage with high priority, bro. It'd be different if it took skill and you got to wind up and it can be count. Nah, bro. This kick is. Have you prepared to meet the foot of doom? Like, he got a foot of doom. Like, that's how we be coming. Hey, boy. Have you brought the cupcakes of forgiveness? All right, well, get this foot of doom, bro. That's doom. That foot is literally Doom Patrol, bro. You got Spear Patrol and Doom Patrol, bro. That's what they. Banana Guard and Shaggy.
Yeah, they do go insane. So yeah, I am 100% agreeance with those two being up there because I just feel like they have been the most problematic, even if you're not a good character. But it's even worse when you are a great player, and it's like, bro, you just at this point it's not even like a fun fight because you just got to keep prioritizing not getting kicked by the Doom Fist, by that Doom foot. Yeah. But let's move on to the next tier and we kind of get y'all take on this one. So we have a tier from this PC games in at n.com where we have Batman, Finn the Human, that's actually Jalen's main, the Joker, Superman, Jake the Dog, Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, and Black Adam. That's a lot of people in that tier.
Yeah, and most of them I haven't fought this time around. I know their archetypes, like Batman is a utility character, so if you're real good at using his kit, you can do a lot of damage. I play with Wonder Woman because I feel like she has a good melee kit that I like. Harley Quinn is always good. I don't know if I would put all of them in A. I feel like that's kind of just not how to put it.
I ain't ranking them. They just everybody else get in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of like the default. Like you don't have anything bad, you're kind of okay. So some of those characters might be a B because I like Wonder Woman, but I feel like she has a lot of weaknesses. So
yeah.
I personally wouldn't put her in an A. More like a
You
B.
think so? She be, hey, you be having her
She
like
be
she
kind
going
of.
hard.
She
She can
is.
kill.
She
No,
could
no,
definitely
she
kill.
definitely can kill. My issue is that she has a lot of moves that are just not good. At
Mm.
least in most situations, or if you're going up against a Shaggy, like the move doesn't have any priority. It's like, okay, so I might as well not use this move in this fight at all. And I feel like for an A tier character, that's not how you think of A tier character.
Shaggy
Mm.
and I'm just on a different tier though, because we ain't got nothing. Nobody got nothing against.
No, I don't think
I
anybody,
mean, that's
any
true.
of us do.
But when you fight a Shaggy every match, then it feel like that. So maybe Shaggy, the matchups make her feel not as good. But no, she's a pretty good character. Same with Harley. I like playing with Harley. I haven't played with Joker, but he's another trap character. So I don't know what y'all think. Y'all fought those type of characters?
Yeah, I think A tier would be fitting for most. Honestly, Batman, Superman for sure. Jake the dog, he has a lot of utility, but maybe he should be dropped down to B. Black Adam, honestly, bound to B. But
Man,
everybody
I don't
else,
know.
I
That
feel
Black
like
Adam we fought yesterday was his
no,
he got some strong moves.
no, he got
I ain't
some
know he had
strong
strong
moves for
moves like
sure.
that.
But I feel like Joker is better than him, so I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
want to
yeah,
keep them in
yeah,
the same tier. And they both
yeah.
bruisers, so I would rather have Black Adam below. Um,
I don't
and
even know
then
about Batman and Superman being up there. I feel like Superman, some of his priority got messed up, and I ain't fought a
Superman
lot of
should be up there.
Supermans or
I feel like,
Batmans,
yeah,
and I ain't think I felt like they was better before. I don't know if they changed. I ain't played with the characters, but at least the ones I came across, there's a little bit more dangerous than when I had seen them. I say Tom and Jerry more dangerous than them, but I mean,
yeah. So this list gonna get interesting for us then, because B tier is Jason Voorhees, Stripe, Rick, Morty, Rain Dog, Gizmo, Taz. Taz got nerfed, so yeah, he should be down there. Black Adam again. So I think they just have it interchangeable between Black Adam and B and A.
yeah,
Iron Giant.
Yeah,
hmm.
I haven't seen most of those characters, but we fought one Jason. He wasn't that good, but Jason feel like he has a lot of exploitable moves. Like he has that teleport move where he goes
Yeah,
invisible and pops up behind you. I feel like that type of move in the right player hands is dangerous. I don't know if it's like how they balanced it. Maybe it got a long cooldown or something, but I feel like
nope.
Jason could be higher, but maybe he's too new and people haven't learned him yet.
Yeah, and his actual disappearing act at startup, he is an attack. He can attack
And
you
Oh yeah.
yeah,
while you starting up his disappearing act. So it's kind of crazy. But I would put Jason maybe A. But I think right now because he's a very slow character. He's a big hitbox that you can manipulate
Hmm.
and beat him up pretty badly, like Iron Giant. I think that's why they probably put him there because
that dog walked one of them.
you can dog walk him if you get like there isn't like a they're too slow to start. He's strong, but he's too slow to start. And turning around for him is difficult when it comes to like trying to get a move off quickly. By the time you jumped over him and his slow animation for the like a smash down or a hit, you can really do some damage to him and keep him juggled because his hitbox is so freaking huge. Like LeBron James would demolish him just simply because of his hitbox for his layup and being able to just keep juggling him. But there is a lot of utility with his move set, especially the kidnap bag. He'd be going crazy with that. Rick, Morty, Rain Dog, Gizmo, Taz, anything else like y'all thought maybe? I think everybody in there is pretty much B. I think the cream ran to the top pretty quickly, and the ones we see the most is probably the ones that are the greatest. But I can see there being some utility there for Morty or Rick. I mean Morty a lot more than Rick though. I don't know.
Yeah, I ain't saying enough to them characters
to really
See,
give
was
an
what I think. I
opinion.
only fought one Iron Giant, surprisingly, and they was booty bomb central, bro. Where they
Yeah.
coming down, and then they get their teammate, they put them inside them and transform, and
Mm-hmm.
just be protecting their team. I'm like, man, this dude unstoppable, bro. He kept doing that thing when he clap his hands on you. He like, give me that round of applause.
Yeah.
So I don't
Okay.
know where Tom and Jerry at then, or where do this tier go to? Like, what's the
C.
lowest tier?
C.
I don't even go to C. Okay.
Yeah, and and unfortunately, my main is in the C, which is crazy. Garnett is in C. Tom and Jerry is in C. LeBron James, my main, is in C. Velma, Marvin the Martian, and then Steven Universe. I seen some cold Steven Universes though.
Yeah, well, I only fought one. That one I thought he was going off, but the more we played, I was just like, bro, we got to get Bugs out of here, bro. It's
Oh yeah,
Bugs,
yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
he
You're right. You're
bugged.
right. Bugs was actually the one helping him.
Yeah,
But Steven was kept putting up that shield and making me like useless a lot. And so it was like a lot of utility that he was just using in regards to keeping me at bay. That was kind of making me upset. I guess he's more of a better match off for LeBron James that's really bad without his ball. C characters, I don't know about Tom and Jerry being down there. LeBron James, to me, he still feel like a B. Maybe not S or A, but he's definitely a B in my opinion when it comes to just being able to have a bunch of utility with his basketball. And they nerfed his slam. They don't get the shockwave no more, but I don't think he should be at the C level. That's insane. But at the same time, he has a lot of slow startups. He's not that versatile when it comes to being able to reposition himself. Like there's not that much you can do to reposition, but you can like throw the ball away, let your teammate throw it up in the air, and then potentially, get that call down to be able to slam to it or like teleport to it technically because you're trying to do an alley oop. So there's a lot of like uniqueness to him that I really enjoy, but I think a lot of characters can be said for a lot of the characters. So let's talk about that. I mean, in regards to the list is the list. I already know that Banana Guard, Shaggy, Bugs Bunny are pretty much OP. Or not OP, but at least Shaggy and Banana is. But let's talk about character familiarity and the differences in how the characters play. Do you feel like they've gotten a good mix of characters to the feeling that everything don't play the same and doesn't feel the same?
I mean,
Yeah, it's a good variety, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, I do think that there's a lot of variety and a uniqueness to a lot of the characters that I wasn't expecting to kind of continue on with new characters coming in and things like that. But I feel like Joker and Jason have some uniqueness to them. Stripe has some uniqueness to them. Definitely Rick and Morty with their teleportation and things like that. I think there's a lot of uniqueness to the way these characters play and understanding their weaknesses and their strengths. It's really cool to kind of figure out and see. So characters wise, I would still, even though I feel like, a lot of it is kind of skewed, it's not really a well balanced overall, but I think with a little bit of nerfing, we can get definitely to a space where I think once we got past the S tier, we was kind of like, we indifferent. We can really see anybody going off. So that's a good sign, to me at least, that it's only like 3 or 4 bad characters that are problematic that they could probably potentially fix. But once they fix those, we're gonna see a new crop of them hitters. So it's always ongoing. But at least the realm of change that they have to make isn't that huge. Would y'all agree?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, from the little bit I've seen,
Not
it don't seem like
hitboxes, but just characters. Not hitbox. Hitboxes definitely need to change. I'm talking about characters.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for like right now, I think like it's kind of hard for me to say because I haven't fought. I fought one Iron Giant. I mean, like I said, time be flying when we be playing this game. I
Yeah.
probably done played at least like 50 at least 50 matches. I say I'm probably pushing 100, no cap. But
Yeah.
I haven't. I say I fought one Iron Giant. I fought one Steven Universe. I fought one Taz. Like I haven't fought. I fought one Superman. I fought maybe two Batmans. Like I haven't fought a lot of the other characters to really say what can and can't be done. So, and then on top of that, we talking about like the skill ceiling of some of those characters because, like we had said before, it seemed like they put us in a different bracket based on the people we started fighting as of the past few days.
Yep.
So, I can't really say if that's necessarily the case. But I will agree that if somebody do get balanced or reworked, now other people are going to come out the woodworks, and then all that stuff is going to change. So basically, I can't really say right now. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I think basically. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say the problem characters that was in the beta, they kind of tuned them down to be more fair. But I don't play with those characters, so I don't know if Taz feels trash or not. And I feel like that's kind of a problem with this type of game, at least, where everybody has like really unique moves. For example, Superman, he has the move where he can grab you and then take you wherever he wants and then throw you. Like to balance that move, it has to either be really good or really bad. Because if it's really good, then people are not gonna like it because it's gonna be too oppressive. Whereas like if it's too fair, then it's kind of worthless in a lot of sense because then you got other characters like Shaggy who's like, oh well, I can't use my grab against Shaggy because he's just gonna kick me. So it's gonna be always a balancing act. It might be always a few characters, like maybe one or two that are like kind of goofy every patch where they kind of can do whatever they want. I feel like it's always gonna be in that space. It's never gonna be well balanced. It's just the top offenders, they're gonna have to tune them down quickly to make the meta not feel too exploitable.
Okay. That's a good point, and I think that you might be right because I think there's ever been a time where someone hasn't been the top of the tier and annoying in some degree. Like when before the beta was over with, it was Finn because he kept getting heavier with the coin sack. And then before that, obviously it was Taz. So I think you're right. So, okay. And then after that was LeBron when he first dropped. So I think it is a little bit of definitely a balancing game. But let's move on to that last part of the Multiversus conversation, netcode. Would you want them to take it back down again to start over? You just say third time's the charm.
Has an echo been that bad for y'all?
They can
it has
take
been
it.
bad. It has been.
I
bad.
didn't play as many matches as match desynchronizations.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
Yep.
The freezing.
Yep. Now the story mode, fine, single player works fine, but when we and Jalen get up together and we start playing matches, and even if I'm playing alone, desynchronizations. So.
Oh dang. Because I'm in Japan and I expected to not have a good connection to Jalen. But when we played, it felt like iffy, but it's understandable because I'm very far. But we were able to finish some matches that were okay, except for the match desynchronization. But if y'all having those same percentage of issues and y'all that close together.
Ain't got nothing to do with you being in Japan, bro. That the frequency at which we're saying it. If I had to calculate that jump, bro, I'd say match desynchronization. I'd say that's probably about at least 30 to 40%. No, I'm gonna say at least 30, but it's probably closer to like 40. Like half the matches we didn't play, like I'm not gonna say because you can play like if you keep rematching, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say each match, but like each set when you playing or series with a person. Yeah, it's about a 40% y'all gonna match you gonna see that match desynchronization. Or the game just gonna crash.
Or it's gonna say crash to the front middle screen, and it crashes for everyone. Even if Jalen on a different platform, it crashes for him. So if he was on the Xbox, I'm on the PC. We both get crash screens.
I get kicked from that game. Everybody, Deontay said he got the game crashed. I'm like, mine did too. Everybody game crashed together.
I'm like, how is this a game? How did y'all not test this refusely? Y'all said y'all took it down to build up the netcode, not make it
Yeah.
worse. And honestly, we're still getting lag. We're still getting hit detection issues. We're dealing with everything we used to deal with, but now on top of that, we crashing. So it's just like,
Hmm.
I love the
Only
game. I can admit that I love the game for what it is. But this tells me everything I need to know about the value of the game to them. It's like if y'all would have thought this through. That y'all would have thought that when they come back out, you want to be truly in a space where it's working well. But look, like all they did was unlock their customization.
The
I mean, you
store.
can spend some
Yeah.
money, but they didn't
They
do anything
yeah, it kind
to
of feels
work.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally. I mean, the only thing I say that it don't do now, and this is like a mod. It's like they changed the consequence of the action. It's not like they fix something. Is when you like, hey, bro, where you going? Like, you running off the stage, like, and you like, no, I'm fighting right now. And then next thing you know, it catches up and you die. Like, I
yeah,
was literally just punching, bro, and I was wondering why y'all froze, but I ran off the stage. That's the
yeah,
only thing they didn't fix. Like, that
yeah,
don't
yeah.
happen no more. But other than that, all the freezing and the skipping frames sometimes and catching back up and all that, it's still doing all that, man. It's like I said, they just showed the lag just showing in a different form and it's
Yep,
crashing more.
yep. So we was like, well, should put it to the vote. Should we take it off the squeaks again and get it fixed? But I don't think they can. Honestly, I was like, if y'all did a new engine, and I understand them bringing to a new engine and some of the features being missing. I think we were both right when it came to you could change your character before the next match. I believe that was a feature.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
lot of features like that that are quality of life features that are missing.
yeah.
And
So
just unpolished. What you say about the thing? Like something was off centered and
yeah,
like
yeah, off-centered text. So I couldn't read what the other guy at the end of the match pool used to be able to or had under his badges because the formatting was off and you couldn't see it, cut off half of it. So it's just like, bro, what the heck is this?
the
Um
game a mess, bro. Like it's cool, it's fun, and it's. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be laughing a lot playing this game, bro. But if I said that game was polished and wasn't a mess, man, I'd be lying through my teeth, bro. The game a
yeah.
mess.
Yeah. They are it was a feature last year where you could switch your character because it was like basically you're supposed to be able to adjust your strat based on people and what they did.
They would switch to two
Yeah,
Shaggies after they lose.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I remember
so
that.
yeah,
Well,
that
they got
was
they big dogs now.
they got their Iron Giant out, and we are still whoop them. That was like a thing, but yeah, I don't know if it's better or worse now. Honestly, I don't know because people have to dedicate themselves to that character, and you got to get better at playing that character versus switching it up because you're losing. Um, I don't know. I don't know which one I like more, honestly, but that was a feature we used to have. So it does, like I said, have this unpolished feel. But I am having a really good time. I can't deny that. Where I'm just playing the single player stuff. I'm having the fun. Just doing the challenges and just playing with Jalen and Joshua when I can. So it's not really like I hate this game. I think that they are pretending that it was fixed when potentially it was not. Whatever you did not really resolve all the issues, and to present it in that way is dishonest, and it doesn't make me want to trust y'all. So I'm just going to let you know that as a consumer, that feels very shady because you did not fix what you said you was. Maybe you mitigated a few problems here and there, but to unlock something that probably was already ready to go when you first launched it, and to add in a little bit of extra characters but never fix any of the underlying issues is kind of like a bad taste in your mouth, as Josh stated earlier. So that is one of those things, though. You know.
Microtransactions, man. They said we
I
need more
want
transactions, more
yeah
cosmetics, bro. We be
$20
brainstorming.
costumes for everybody.
Man,
Yeah.
crazy.
I was gonna ask y'all how y'all feel about the those iconic characters that we get in like Banana Guard.
I don't know why we got Banana Guard, to be honest with you. I like I like Agent Smith. I like Jason. I like Joker. Banana Guard, bro. That's a throwaway that they was like we give everybody for free, and he OP, which is crazy. Like I
Yeah.
feel like they didn't put too much effort into Banana Guard and that in his shows and his abilities. Because he's very one dimensional, but he's very strong too. So maybe he's a beloved character on Adventure Time. I've never seen Adventure Time, so I wouldn't know. So
I mean, he not that important on that show. I'm like, y'all could have put on Ice King or somebody before that, or
yeah,
Or what's
Bubblegum
the
Princess.
Princess Bubblegum? Yeah, I feel like she should
Yeah.
have been there before Banana Guard.
yeah. But they got
I
plenty
get
to
throwing
play
in
with.
side characters and stuff
Yeah.
too, like, but they could have put in
I
somebody.
don't know. I feel like maybe a side character might be really fun because that's just a unique character. But I feel like for like Legend of Zelda, you should put Link and Zelda in the game before you put like the Korok seed. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one of those things where you're kind of like, that too. But yeah, but I feel very, comfortable with the roster. The level of unlocking could be tweaked, but honestly, I don't care to play with everybody, and the people I am unlocking, I have enough coins for. So I'm not really I guess if I was an impatient person, I wanted to get everybody. That would be like a hard thing for me, but it's not that case. Like honestly, dedicating yourself to 1 or 3 characters is really fine, and you can kind of unlock as you go if you want new people.
So I saw some complaints about that. Did y'all have to rebuy your characters with gold? Were they unlocked?
Rebuy? I didn't have to rebuy LeBron, and I didn't have to rebuy any of my characters. Only person I had to rebuy, I think, was Harley, but I never unlocked her previously.
Okay.
So
Yes.
No, I think it was. I don't know if it was an issue or not, but there was some people saying that some characters that you got in the beta, like if you bought the thing that unlocked everybody, they weren't unlocked right away, so you had to still use gold or something. But that might have been a bug when it came out.
Yeah, because I ain't had to buy LeBron James again. I know I bought him the first time.
Because I know I had Harley and Wonder Woman, and I still have them, but I don't have anybody else, and I don't know if I ever bought anybody.
No, we was probably doing a rotation thing where we get them for a day and just play with them, because that's what I was doing. Mm-hmm. I never really bought anybody. But yeah, I know you get Shaggy off rip, don't you? Something like that.
Oh, I don't have Shaggy.
You don't have Shaggy?
No, I literally have 2 characters.
Huh.
I mean,
I thought you get the rotation. You get 4 at a time.
The rotation should have a clock next to him, and so there's a clock next to Shaggy, so I can use him when he's free, but I don't own Shaggy.
Oh, maybe I don't own him either. I don't know. I thought I did though. I got his outfit, so I thought maybe when I beat the battle pass, you got him. I don't know, but yeah, that's a lot of multiverses. So we're gonna stop it there. But as you can see, there's a lot of problems, but there's a lot of fun to be had too. We're gonna keep posted on new stuff that come out as we play it, enjoy it. It is one of those things where it's pretty quick and easy to get on to a few matches, get off, but it does push the time by when you're playing it. So it is a fun game to enjoy with friends, and if you ain't got none, just play the single player mode.
Hey, just real quick, Banana Guard is a throwaway character. There's like, look, man, it's for relationship building. We gonna get everybody a free character, but when we drop Princess Bubblegum or Ice King, y'all gonna have to pay for it. So we just trying to give y'all one of little throwaway characters so y'all have faith in us, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. Okay, well, let's move on to our next, and we're gonna try to keep them short if possible. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about was the state of play. And simply enough, man, it was cool. I'm not gonna sit here and say I was excited, but I'm not gonna sit here and say they didn't show nothing either. I really don't want to. I don't want to put that. I don't want to put that on the showcase anymore. I miss in-person showcases. I feel like the theatrics of it all had me way more entertained than just showing the game. All of this stuff, once you go back and look at it, it could have been a decent showcase. But I think a lot of it, what was missing was simply that nobody came out and talked about it, gave us more perspective. It was just fly in, fly out. End of the day, I guess that's what people want now. I don't know. Call me a old man, but I used to like the spectacle of it all, and this just felt boring for that reason. 30 minutes of good games and good trailers and stuff that to look forward to should be fine enough, but to me, it just didn't feel that way. It just felt like it was a waste of time to watch it in real time because there's no reason to at this point. There's plenty of the trailers look better when you wait. So that's why the spectacle is important to me. But I don't think that's going to be the case no more. Showcase, I'm hoping they bring the spectacle back with Xbox. I want a car to come down from the ceiling again. I don't know. I just really wish they would go back to doing that stuff. Even though I hated it when it was cringe when it happened, I feel like the spectacle made it more than just what it is, which is a bunch of game trailers. Which this tells me every time I see it, it ain't nothing but a collective of game trailers that I can watch later. That's not fun for me, I guess. So yeah, but I ain't gonna hate on it.
I personally, I don't need the cars. Go back to the Forza Gears Halo days.
I need them cars, but I need them cars, man. Go ahead.
Forza Gears Halo. But for the PlayStation Showcase or State of Play, it definitely was missing a lot of excitement, and I feel like because everybody's streaming now, they don't have to put as much effort into it. Like you said, it's just we're gonna put out our trailers, and we're gonna do it once every quarter, so you can be excited for it. Mm-hmm. But like in the past, there'll be. I'm gonna use the Nintendo Direct for example. They might open up with something big. In the middle, they're gonna put in a lot of filler. We're gonna see a lot of third-party stuff and whatever. But then they're gonna say their goodbyes, and then after the goodbyes, it's gonna fade to black, and they're gonna come out with a surprise trailer for something you didn't know about, because they want to surprise you or give you a reward for watching it live. That's what it feels like. It's like I'm showing up here for this premiere for something that I'm surprised that it's showing up. And with the PlayStation State of Play, there was no surprises or anything like that. Even though the last game they showed, Astrobot, was very fun, that's the time where you can tease. Bloodborne or God of War 3 or whatever people are waiting for, because people are excited for what you're doing. Maybe those games are not ready, but that teaser gives them excitement for what's coming up next. Whereas what you showed was kind of okay. Like Concord might find an audience, it might not. God of War on PC is good, but it doesn't need a full trailer because we've seen a bunch of this game for 2-3 years.
Yep.
Monster Hunter, personally, I'm excited for it. But again, that's one out of the 5 or 6 games you showed. I don't remember anything else. You show some VR games. Who cares? And that's it. So they needed to build up the surprise and spectacle to make people excited about the PlayStation brand. And that kind of didn't happen. And there are many different ways you can do that. Like you said, maybe they come out on stage or whatever, but at least present the video in a way that's exciting. We show up with some CEO dude, never heard of him, whatever. I'm sure he's working hard, but I don't need to see you. Same thing with the other CEO at the end. It's like, okay, I've seen your face before. It's not really selling this experience for me though.
Yeah. I think Xbox is doing a smart thing with the direct developer direct thing. Even though I really want the spectacle to happen again at the showcases, because I miss little moments like when they were dissing Xbox with the PlayStation 4, trade the systems and how they how you share games and stuff like that. It just felt like this is supposed to be their big thing for E3. Come on now, is this what I want to see? No, I don't want to see that. And it doesn't give me in engage with the PlayStation brand as they used to, and I think a lot of people are losing focus of that simply because of the way we kind of microwave everything now. It's kind of quick and fast, and at some point I was very much so for this, but then as I grow and as I kind of get older, I realize that those little intricacies are very important to selling of a brand versus selling of a game, a platform, or a piece of software. Like it's important. Like I would think that Ballad of Antara would got a better showcasing where winds meet if we had someone out there that actually could tell us while they're presenting something why it's interesting, why you should be wanting to play it, why you should want to to get more information. And honestly, they just look like I don't know. It didn't hit home for me because there's just nothing to tie
They
it to.
show like 3 Asian
Yeah,
combat focused Souls-like games,
yeah.
and each one might be good, but when you show 3 back to back, they kind of just blur together.
Same thing with the Marvel's Rivals and Concord. I'm like, bro, this is the same game. Why would I want to play these two games when I got Overwatch right now that's not doing well? Like it was the same thing with Concord and then going straight into Marvel's Rivals. I'm like, y'all really gonna show these? I don't know if they showed it back to back, but it was definitely close enough to the point where I was like, it was still fresh in my mind. I was like, another one of these games, another Overwatch game, and the animations and everything. Like I said, we gonna talk about Concord a little bit, but I was just more so talking to the presentation. Anything that stood out to y'all that y'all enjoyed or did not enjoy outside of what we already discussed? Because I know we're coming up on almost a little 10 minutes, but go ahead.
Overall, I, the tone of the event was very bland, and I don't know how to describe it more than that. Like maybe, yeah, if they just want to show the content, you just put out the content. But as far as the trailers, the one that I was actually most excited for, even though I have no connection to the IP, is Astrobot, just because the trailer was fun.
Yes.
Like it was showing interesting gameplay. It had interesting music. It was pretty quick with the editing. Versus like Concord, which should be the game everybody should be excited for, right? This is their big new IP.
Yeah.
I watched the 3-minute CG trailer that really didn't do anything for me. It was kind of bland. And then they showed the gameplay. Some of the gameplay stuff was fun, but again, we're coming up on 10 minutes of the same game, and I'm not excited, but you keep showing it to me. Like if you show like Astrobot, show a 1-minute trailer of Concord and it looks fun, is much more interesting than doing the whole 10-minute like this is our world, our universe thing. Because unfortunately, the thing is, like, I do think you need the world and universe for those type of games. Like that's part of the reason Overwatch was successful. However, Overwatch impressed people with the gameplay, and they kept building on with the story on top of that because people were already in on the gameplay.
Yeah.
Concord, it's a Destiny-like. Okay, and is that it? That's all you're gonna tell me is like Destiny? They really need to sell the gameplay because it's a multiplayer shooter. Making me care about the multiplayer shooter. I saw some people talking about it, and he's a developer. His name is Del Walker. He talks a lot about games and his experience making games on Twitter. But he was seeing a lot of live service games. If a game like Apex came out today, it might get a lot of hate, and the surprise reveal probably work in his favor. And so maybe I think that's a big gamble, especially with these billion-dollar budgets. But when the game comes out, it looks fun. It kind of avoids all criticism if you just get people in right away. In like 1 second, I got your attention, and you can play it today. So I feel like if
Yeah.
Concord had a stronger rollout where it's like, play our beta today, people could play it, and it might be very fun. And then it changes the whole conversation. But now it's like we got a boring game coming out for $70.
Yeah. No, that is key. That is key. You want to have that placement in people's head. And marketing, this is marketing 101. That was a very nice little gem for them. I think a lot of success that Capcom is seeing is simply be having tests, beta tests, and all that stuff in regards to like how they allow people to have the fun in their game before they actually sell you the game. Dragon Dogma was a little bit different, but they allowed you to kind of get engaged with their character creator. Like there's a little piece of everything that they have created recently that will allow you to try to, enjoy it. And I think that was very key for them to continue to move forward in the way that they have and becoming successful. I think a lot of the old marketing techniques need to just come back. Demos, demo discs, not demo discs, maybe not that, but like demos, just having the abilities for someone to try out your game beforehand. I think that helped with Stellar Blade's success. I think will help significantly with people's success in video games if they continue to provide samples of their games. I think X Defiant had a following because of all the tests that they did. There is a reality to creating those open betas and making people want to play them, but you have to have engaging combat and you have to have engaging fundamentals. And I think Sony has made a huge bet on live service, and I think this game looks expensive to make, especially if you're getting like those type of level of quality cutscenes a week, unless they do something like Apex Legend and they just draw some pictures. But if you're getting those quality cutscenes every week, that's expensive. So there is just a lot there that I'm like, I'm concerned and I'm intrigued, but I'm definitely not excited. That's the problem. So I think they need to figure out a way to get that excitement back. And I, for one, am someone that loves an old technique coming back to life. I love the fact that, I love the fact that people are trying to revise E3. I love the fact that people are advocating for a little bit more attention to detail when it comes to how you present games and items to people. But I think a lot of data has caught us off to the fundamentals that we kind of always knew up and grew up to. No matter how good you are with SEO, you see enough of the same commercial, it's going to get stuck in your head. BK, have it your... Like, bro, that's always been in my head for like since I've been watching the playoffs. Because it just pops up every time. I'm going to give it some Burger King. We have the meats. Like, come on, man. Get back to the fundamentals, bro. I understand where people are coming from, where it's like, yeah, we can target certain people and certain people that's going to play the game, but fundamentals are key. So
I say, as somebody who don't, my bad, I ain't mean to cut you off. You go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Just real quick, my tidbit, as somebody who don't watch these, and Deontay had to bribe me $50 to watch this thing. $50, not just flat. But somebody who was pestering me about watching it, I wasn't impressed. It ain't something that made me want to come back. Like you said, 30 minutes of game trailers. I can just go look up these trailers at a different point in time.
Yep.
And just be done with it. There's nothing that compelled me to be like, hey, let's go jump in the comment section. Let's go get these view count up. Let me spend this time at this moment, unless I have free time, in this moment to want to go watch that. So, I mean, it definitely could be more done. And yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say about that. So, I mean, he trying to get me to watch this next one. I don't know if they coming like that, man. They got to have something that come with it.
I don't know how Xbox is going to do. I think a lot of feedback has been to shorten them, make it all about the games and not really about the spectacle, which is understandable to a large degree. But honestly, I miss it and I want it back. So maybe it's just me, but I think a lot of people don't know what they truly want until it's gone. And I think that's the sentiment of a lot of people that think that this is better. This is not better. So, but yeah, let's move on to the next thing because we are running out of time. We was going to talk about Multiversus. We was going to talk about the state of play. And honestly, we didn't talk about many other games. Let me circle back. Path of Exile 2 looked great. God of War Ragnarok PC, obviously, Astrobot, and that was pretty much it outside of Monster Hunter's Wilds that I enjoyed. Was there any standouts for y'all? Dynasty Warriors Origins, Jayla? I know you said that was one of your favorites. Go ahead.
Dynasty, man, I can't get enough of that game. Tecmo, Kowai, bunch of people, over-exaggerated combos that don't really work on the hundreds of enemies you fight and never on the bosses.
That's how they get their hitbox. They got their hitbox from Multiverse. That's how Multiverse got their hitboxes. They took it from Dynasty Warriors. When they get the animation, one person get hit, everybody get hit.
Hey, and then don't get me started on when one person make one animation to feel they all follow suit. I'm like, dang, I feel like we all line dancing. Forget the enemies. Like, we fighting a gang of people. They all doing a Cupid shuffle, the cha-cha slide. Take it back now, yo. I'm like, but nah, I mean, I thought whatchamacallit looked at, I ain't gonna say it looked at cool. It just looked at like a little bit interesting. What was it, Concord? The Destiny asset boy?
Yeah.
But Destiny I mean, assets. It ain't, you know, I thought that was probably one of the better looking games aside from God of War, but obviously God of War is just a port or, you know, so
yes,
that don't get much merit. So, but I'd say that's the only game, and I think, like you said before, most people will probably be the biggest one. So,
okay. I'm assuming Astrobot. You said Jalen, Josh, right? It was Astrobot for you.
Yeah. So Monster Hunter Wilds looks very good. That's the follow up to Monster Hunter World. Because I know Rise came out, but they're gonna switch off where you got one action oriented one, or more arcadey one, and then the real immersive like world that they're doing. So Wilds look very good this next generation, and even though Monster Hunter World wasn't my favorite Monster Hunter, it was still a good experience, and so I'll play the next one. Okay. Concord, again, it being not a Destiny asset flip, but bringing Destiny gameplay into a more streamlined experience might be good, because that's kind of the biggest barrier where if you want to get in and play some Crucible, even though they say, you know, everybody's level balanced, everybody doesn't have the same weapon artillery, so it's not fully equally balanced, especially now with classes where you got to go out and like obtain the class and level it up and stuff like that. So take that experience of the Crucible, put it in a streamlined place where everybody has access to the same stuff. That might be very fun. So I'm not into the story, but I want to see more of the gameplay. It looks decent. Astrobot, very fun platformer. I'm not that big into platformers, but they show a lot of good platforming mechanics that are always timeless. Mm-hmm. Like they have the Super Mario Sunshine like jetpack / water jetpack thing, and you know, doing a lot of to get some upgrades. You get some weapons like boxing gloves and stuff like that. So it looked like a fun experience, and I'm willing to check it out. That being said, I don't know if I'll buy it I don't know what they're priced at, but it could be fun, especially something to play now that I have kids. Might play it together. And then the only other game, it was Astrobot, Monster Hunter, and Concord. And I think that's it for me. Everything else was I've either seen before or have no interest in.
Okay. Yeah, same for me. I mean, I feel like there was like a lot of like I said, trailers that didn't really provide any real value to the conversation. And this is kind of like the first state of play that I've seen come and go quickly as it did. I wasn't expecting that, but it definitely did. But yeah, let's move on to Xbox predictions because this is the first time in a very long time that Xbox has a lot to show and has a lot in development, more than PlayStation, and has more interesting things to show than PlayStation. Well, at least that's been announced. I'm talking Perfect Dark, Fable, South of Midnight, Avowed, Everwild, Clockwork Revolution, the Indiana Jones game, Marvel's Blade. I don't think we're gonna see that, but there's a lot. We're not going to see anything from Bethesda because they just put out something. We might see the DLC for Starfield, which I really don't want them to show that there, but they can. It's advertisement. And, be about the spectacle of gaming, bring it. I don't care. Make the showcase longer. But then you got a whole Activision thing. Like, they have the games. They bought them. All right? So it's time to show up. It's time to really just show up. Is there anything that y'all are truly invested in? And that might be sad because if I think I know the answer, but is there anything that y'all invested in that y'all want to see from them as of now that you would that is meaningful that you might be able to see? Anything?
Not a particular name or IP, but I want to see what is coming out of Activision. Not because there are a lot of Activision games that I like, but that's such a big slice of gaming that there has to be something exciting coming out.
Yeah.
I know Jalen is waiting for StarCraft 3 or
StarCraft.
More Overwatch. But I feel like, for example, if they have something interesting in an Overwatch world or something interesting in the StarCraft or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But yeah, Activision is just so big, and they actually own them now. I think the legal stuff is all set in stone, so now they can go off. Show what you invested in.
Yep.
What was the name on the sheet that they showed you that you was like, oh, I gotta spend $70 billion for that? I mean, I know it's Call of Duty, but it has to be. I feel like it has to be more than just Call of Duty. As well.
$70 billion is a lot.
Yeah, I hope it's more than just Call of Duty. That being said, I don't know if there's anything else I'm waiting for out of Xbox Game Studios. I feel like Fable is not ready yet. I feel like a lot of I know Avowed is supposed to be coming out soon, but I don't know if it's going to have a strong showing. So Xbox Studios wise, they could show whatever. But I want to see what they invested in Activision for me.
Okay, that's fair. Anything from you, Jalen, from the Xbox camp? I know you said you was. I know that Diablo still. I'm pretty sure
Diablo 7.
Nah, the Diablo getting installed, so might want to.
I'm waiting on Diablo 7.
Nah, you gotta wait and check out that DLC they got dropping. So. Outside of Diablo 4 and that DLC that we're gonna be playing soon, what else are you anticipating?
Huh? What did he say?
What else are you anticipating from the
StarCraft 3? You heard, Josh?
The folks over at Sony. Starfield 3? Bro, where you at?
StarCraft 3.
Oh, StarCraft 3. I thought you said Starfield.
I'm trying to get some more Protoss action.
Did you actually play StarCraft? Or 2?
Nah, I ain't played that game.
Yeah, I figured you did. I thought Jaleel did, but I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
But no, I ain't got nothing.
They'll be picking up Osmosis for those PC games. Like, how you know about Team Fortress 2? Like, oh, my brother played it.
Hey, that's how I be learning auto games. I'll be like, all right. Team Fortress, Counter-Strike. I can't get enough.
Yeah.
Half-Life. No, but I ain't got nothing from that camp that I'm looking for real. So
Yeah, it is sad when you have a lot of games, but nothing in them that's truly engaging. Like Marvel's Blade is probably the biggest one that I'm like super excited for, but everything else is like, okay, let's see what you do.
So I want to ask y'all real quick, what's y'all favorite, other than Call of Duty, what's your favorite Activision IP? Because I was trying to think, because like I feel like for me, EA has more individual
Yes,
IPs that I care about. You know, Dead Space, Mass Effect, and stuff like that. So I feel like I can go down
EA
the line.
everything EA big. Yep.
hmm What
I
about Activision?
honestly, I always felt like their best selling thing for me, and always have and always will be, is the Tony Hawk series.
Tony Hawk. hmm
Hmm.
Uh, I personally don't know. I had thought about that a little bit, but just thinking about all the Activision games, like the games that they had before and now they got now, and just all that type of stuff. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I say most recently in the past, like probably 5 years. I probably will say Overwatch, but that's only because that's like the biggest Activision title that I've been playing.
hmm
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say Crash Bandicoot, even though I like, what I'm saying, that's more Naughty Dog and um, those sorts of things. So I
Yeah, the old
honestly don't
developer,
have.
not just the.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of Activision as a whole, whether it's places they acquired or places they gave up. You know what I mean?
hmm
So,
Yeah,
and I mean, I don't got nothing.
Activision has just owns a lot of great studios, but I honestly don't have any IPs I'm attached to for them. EA is the place to be for me. It always
hmm
has been. That's why I always thought they was gonna buy them. EA just has poor management, in my opinion, in regards to being able to put out a first person shooter that actually does well. To be able to put out and synchronize timing. I think they have a lot of wins based off luck. So that company itself is the company that I would be pushing for, be simply because of what they have and what I value from that company. Like I can look at my little games right now that I have, and most of them have a tag of EA, versus anything else. So it's not really that much of a Activision win to me. I think Call of Duty is big and huge, but I always felt like their smaller games have always been more impressive, like Tony Hawk series, like Spyro, like even their Rare, when I know they bought Rare, but they never did anything with the company. So it's like those things where they had a lot of value in just having that their the studios, but the value I'm looking for next is their next big thing. Like what's after Call of Duty? If you got to keep pushing out Call of Duty, people are going to get tired of it. There has to be something else that you're pushing to that's going to rival what everybody else has, single player wise or something. There's If it's going to be Call of Duty, you're going to be stuck in a box. I think there has to be something that they have shown Microsoft that was a true value that they saw coming down the line. So Activision is the only one that I have seen that hasn't done like a big publishing deal with like a big company yet. Or maybe they have. Have y'all seen something where Activision was the owner or the like, how Ubisoft takes the rights of Star Wars? Like, have you seen, has Activision
hmm
done that yet?
I I don't know. I don't think. Maybe not. They. Yeah, I feel like that's not their thing. EA usually
It's EA or
goes in on that.
Ubisoft. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
really anybody else that's like, were they buying licensing to publish a game? Um, that's an opportunity there. I think a lot of their company sits on Call of Duty, dude. That's crazy. So, I think a lot of it needs to be. I think we need to look at that a little more closely. Um, there's value there, but there's value in one franchise, and that's not enough. So, I think there's plenty of other franchises that we're missing out on. We're not talking about, but heavy hitters for me has only been two: Call of Duty and Tony Hawk. So, yeah. Um, but there is promise. Like I said, there is plenty of things that may not, completely get me engaged in Xbox's uh the Xbox experience, but they have so much going on right now that regardless of what they show, I'm looking for quality. I think South of Midnight is probably going to be one of those sleepers that I really will enjoy. So I'm looking forward to just seeing a little bit more of that. I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more of the Clockwork Revolution because I'm a big steampunk fan. Um, Doom is always going to be Doom, but it's never been like super appealing to me. FPS
I forgot
shooters.
about Doom.
Yeah, so Doom
Yeah.
is going to be the new Doom is going to be probably announced, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they have a new perspective on it, like maybe more melee than shooting. But we'll see. Doom is always about shooting, but I think there was some rumors running around about that.
Yeah, and there was a sword in the last game, so it might lean in on that type of gameplay.
Yeah, believe it or not, State of Decay 3. My wife loved that game, and I'm pretty sure she'd be happy to see something new. And like I said, I got an Xbox Series X that I never used. She can put some time into it. So it's just like those little things that I know that they appeal to a lot more than just me in regards to their audience. And little stuff like that, as long as they continue to do that. We're not even talking about Indiana Jones, one of their bigger games that's coming out at the end of this year, because yeah, it may not appeal to me, but I'm still going to check it out. I'm still going to probably enjoy it. I might have a good fun time in it, just going through the single player. But there's plenty to be said about having values at different, like strategically placed assets out there versus, just a dumpster fire and everybody just hoping that you drop more Gears, Halo, Forza. Like I ain't mentioned them at all. That's great. In my opinion, that's a W. So as long as I ain't mentioning them, that's W for me. At least for them. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we're gonna have some surprises. I hope that they bring the spectacle back. I think that they can do it. But if they don't, it's whatever. Do I really want to sit there and watch a bunch of trailers back to back? Not really. But if that's what they want to do, sure, go ahead. But I like to make fun of people's outfits. I like to hear people make bad, I like live events. I don't know. I felt I used to hate it. Now I like it again. So whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it from them. Anything to add before we move on? So
No.
all right. So we talked about the multiverses. We talked about Xbox. We talked about PlayStation. Now let's talk about some PC handhelds. So we recently got a look at the Ally X. The Ally X, unfortunately, the Ally X came out and it looks great, but everybody's upset with Rogue, with ASUS because of their not so great customer service. So I have to listen to people, and this is a pet peeve of my own. I don't care, and I'm telling this to every YouTuber I ever watched. I don't care if you get paid, as long as you're honest and you're telling me the truth. I don't care that you're not getting paid. I don't care that they flew you out. I don't care that you didn't take their money. It does not matter. I feel like I have grown to understand you guys' perspective and appreciate it. I don't need that additional 30 minutes of conversation about something I don't care about before I get to what I need to hear from you, which is information about the product. I'm sorry that is appealing to part of your audience, but trust me, why would I care that you get paid, bro? Like, I don't want you to be broke trying to do this for us. I don't know. I guess it's some type of, I don't know. It's some type of subconscious guilt feeling or whatever. But if somebody is telling you you shouldn't get paid for a service you provide, you're in the wrong business. Like, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong freaking business. That is stupid. That is how the world works. Obviously, if you're lying and manipulating, that's different. But if you're honestly getting paid for your efforts and your work and your contribution, why the hell would I care? I don't. So stop giving me a dissertation before you give me what I actually want. I always have to skip through y'all stuff and your topics because it just feels like I am constantly being told about how your ethics work, when honestly, I have believed your ethics because I wouldn't subscribe to your channel otherwise. There's an honesty factor there. There's a level of detail that you go through. I don't have to hear MKBHD tell me that because I already know. So just, I don't care if you get paid. Be quiet. You get paid. Like, why would I care about a service you're providing? It's weird to me. I don't know. Whatever. But the whole thing came about simply because everybody hates their customer service. And every time somebody go in for a RNA or a I'm sorry, whatever you call it, when you send it back, they would come back with like, you owe $300 because they found a crack or something and you broke warranty, so they won't fix it. You got to pay for it, blah blah blah. And this happened to one of the bigger YouTubers by the name of Gamer Nexus, and that came out a week ago. So when that came out, everybody was still fresh on ASUS's products suck. ASUS's customer service sucks. And they're doing a disservice to their products because their products are actually good, but every time you work with their customer service, you're getting a problem. So why would you trust to buy something from them when they won't even acknowledge that they had messed up SD cards in the first one? So it really took a lot for me to get the information that I wanted about the product. Yeah, eventually they got to it, but most of the time it was just about talking through these PR points. Like, they were doing all the PR for Rogue Ally. I feel like it was just a lot of conversations around what you get when you buy it, but not actually about the product that you're buying. So I don't like the service. I don't like the coverage we're getting right now. I can admit that. But what I can say at least is that the information that has come out has given me hope for the handheld space outside of the Ally X when it comes to providing a substantial or a significant upgrade for a price difference. It's not that much more. It's more expensive than the previous version, but you do get almost a doubling of battery. You get better processing. You get better fans. You get better ergonomics. You get a Thunderbolt port for better connectivity, and they got rid of their proprietary junk already. So it's a lot of value with the Ally X to just be said in regards to the product itself. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that shadows it, and you obviously can't get away from it. But what I can tell you at least is that it looks like they put in a time to address a lot of the concerns previously. Does that restore faith in the company? No, absolutely not. I don't think anything can help somebody restore faith in something that they don't believe in. But I guess to call it a bad product or a bad refresh is a lie. I think a lot of people unanimously believes that they did a really good job with the refresh. It's just depending on whether or not it's worth the money. But you can't even get to that. Like I said, you get to mostly, having a conversation around the whole thing that surrounds it. Obviously that's important, guys. I'm not trying to dismiss it, but when it comes to products and new things coming out, how much does the surrounding factors impact your purchase of the said item? Do you take into account obviously you have to, like, services and things like that, you have to take it into account. But I guess how much do you put on the weight of the customer support? Because I feel like a lot of people buy Apple products, but I already know that most of the time, if you really have a problem, you're just going to go to they're not the most repairable phones. So it's not like everybody has that conscious idea like there's this functionality that I'm missing out on if I buy this thing, but at the same time the build quality may be up to snuff for you you feel comfortable. So I guess how do y'all gauge that when y'all talk about a product, think about buying a product? How much does that engage in your brain versus just, is this product going to meet my needs, and how well does it do it?
Yeah, so when it comes to like the build quality of like or reputation of like the company, it does factor into my purchase, but also I would say I try to make sure that it's not the biggest factor
Mm,
because at the end of the day for technology, maybe by law you're guaranteed like a 1 year warranty or something like that. Outside of that, it's not gonna the company doesn't have to take care of it or whatever.
mm-hmm.
And if you break it, you're just gonna fix it. So at that point, now, especially for computer parts, I'm thinking about how repairable is it? What's the price? If it's pretty cheap and it's not very repairable, then okay, maybe I just replace it with a new one or something like that. So there's a lot of factors, but what I can tell you is that when I was searching for my Windows handheld, I looked at a lot of different companies, and there are a lot of interesting different devices with cool features
Mm-hmm.
that are really cool, but they're from smaller companies that are maybe from China or from different countries. So their customer service experience is not good. And so I'm just highlight two. One is Ioneo. They made the OLED Ioneo Air device that I have. And I really love the device. Really nice OLED screen. I like the buttons, I like the feel of the device. And so far I have no problems with it. But if you go read threads on it, a lot of people have issues. One with hardware issues, and then the other is like customer service, where they're trying to contact customer service, takes a long time, weeks or months, and they finally get a response, and the response is not something that they like, or it's like, oh, you're gonna pay for shipping and send it back, and you gotta wait a long time to get it, and blah blah blah. So overall, a terrible customer service experience. So that's
Mm,
something that I take into account because if I buy a device and I have to worry about fixing it, is customer service going to be any help to me? In this case, probably not. And so I know that going into it, was like, if I buy this device, I'm on my own. I'm on community fixes instead of official fixes. And as long as
yeah.
I'm okay with that, then that's where I end it. For example, the other device I was looking at, a GPD Win 4, and you probably haven't seen that device, is shaped like a PSP, but it has a slide up screen and it has a keyboard on it. And that device looked really good. I was really thinking about getting it. But again, there were issues with customer service and dealing with the company and company support. And the reason I didn't go with that is because their previous device, I think, had a speaker issue. And they had to it was either speaker or SD card or something like that. But anyways, they agreed to offer some replacements, but you have to request the kit, they'll send it to you, you have to fix it yourself. And a lot of people had issues with that whole experience. And so personally, I wanted to avoid any widespread hardware issues and bad
Mm,
customer service because like I have to engage with customer service at that point. And if it's not very a good experience, then I'm going to avoid it. So at the end of the day, especially with PCs, you are going to take a lot of the responsibility on yourself. The company definitely should offer you at least a 1 year warranty where their faulty issues are covered, but you're going to have to be more willing to fix it yourself. That being said, most consumer products like iPhones and things like that, you don't have much big issues. Like if you break your screen, just take it to the store and have it fixed. That's a two-step process. When it comes to like faulty batteries or something like that you get that some phones may have, those are generally taken care of by like widespread recalls or replacements or free replacements. So
right.
I think most people don't have any issues with that, but PC players or PC people, I, I don't know, it's kind of a weird culture where I don't like. I'm not saying that Gamer Nexus shouldn't expect better customer service from the company, uh, but it's also I don't know why they're pitchforks about customer service, because that's kind of I don't know, complain to the Better Business Bureau. I mean, I don't know where RG or ASUS is from. Maybe it's China or something. So you got to go through different steps to complain. But I personally I don't see the point of having a protest from a new product or something like that if you know they don't offer good customer service. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of where I left it. I was like, yeah, if I was truly intrigued with the product, I would still buy it. I don't think the customer service would deter me. I'm not saying that I'm just okay and prone to just taking bad service and, running away with it. I'm more prone to buy a Steam Deck simply because of it, and because I know that if something breaks, they have repairability and functionality that they are already building into it that allows me to repair it. And so far, what I've seen with the Ally X is they doing the same thing. They're doing a lot of modular things to help with the process of repairing. And when I come to the PC world, unfortunately, I have come accustomed to fixing stuff myself because it just it is what it is. Yeah. So I never thought that a PC handheld would be any different from like a laptop or something like that breaking. Like, I don't expect to send it back to the company. I expect to take it to Geek Squad or something. Like, I don't expect them to fix my problem, especially if I had it for like 3 years or 2 years. And I understand faulty and defunct, like something malfunctioning and then they're not owning up to it. That's a problem. Like the ASUS SD card, that's a problem. Like, I understand that. I'm not saying that is not a issue, but to protest a new product simply based off of customer experiences in the past that you already know what to expect, I don't get that either. I really don't.
And customer experiences are so subjective, and it's kind of unfortunate because like maybe he really did have a unfair experience, but also who can say otherwise because it's between him and the receiving factory. Like, maybe his device was actually broken and they couldn't do anything without opening it up or something like that, and that adds to the cost. Obviously they could take one on the house just because, again, it's customer service. Sometimes you just got to take the hit to make the customer happy. But at that point, you have to admit, customer, you were wrong, but we're going to do something nice for you because we care about this relationship. So yeah, that's a whole lot of faith to take on this type of issue to protest a new product, especially one that's going to be on sale at big tech companies like Best Buy. Like, you don't ever have to deal with ASUS if you buy it from Best Buy. Like you said, just go to Geek Squad or whatever to fix your device. So,
and that's on Best Buy to incorporate the proper safety precautions because of the previous launch that a lot of people were returning them. Okay, what is the expectation now? If we're going to be buying it from LAX, they still partnering with them. This is something that they have to become accustomed to, and you have to understand as a consumer that you're probably not going to have the best experience if something breaks using the manufacturer's warranty. So, yeah, like I've bought from companies that I felt like, I don't know, like I'll buy some solid state drives from Crucial, and maybe they don't have the best reputation for having, respectable drives for a long period of time, but I take that gamble for the cost. It's always a cost versus the benefit. And I feel like as of now, the Ally X, until proven guilty, looks like a sound device. You can't judge it based off of previous actions. I just really don't. And I'm not saying, like I said, I can't shoot them no bail because at the end of the day, reputation is a key factor in people's purchasing power and what they want to purchase. And that's the reason why I am loyal to like a Google or a LG, because I know their products last and I don't have to deal with. I've had this one OLED since 2016 and still kicking, still good. So it's, and I bought, it's like you understand the value of a great purchase, but you also understand that you're going to be taking some good with the bad, and to get upset about that to the point where you're protesting a new product, it's a little strange. I'm not saying that you can't do it, but it's a little strange. So I'll leave it at that. I think you guys should check out the Ally X if you're really interested in buying a new product. There's a lot of discounted Allies right now. I think they're like $400. Which is really good for the type of product that you're getting. But being conscious of what's going on around it. If you if that is really a purchasing power. But I'm looking at it from the spec sheet, and I'm looking at it from the value of a lot of people are enjoying their ROG Ally. And yes, there are some times where you're going to have a bad customer service experience. Sometimes you're going to feel like you've just been slighted. But there is some precautions you could take to try to avoid that in the future. Paying a little extra up front might be the best way to go about it. So think about that too. But we're out of time, unfortunately. So we're gonna leave it at that. Any last things for the people before we get up out of here?
No, I'm good. We had a good talk today. Yeah, what about you, Jayla?
Nah, I ain't got much else to say.
Cool beans. All right, I want to thank you guys for listening. I appreciate you getting to this part, letting us ramble on and on about nothing and listening and enjoying. I appreciate you as always. I always appreciate what this part of the show, because that means you got here and you listened. So thank you. But we will be back next week, hopefully with some great stuff from this Xbox showcase. Hopefully with some very fun and engaging news. We'll see though. Sunday, we record on Tuesdays, so it'll be fresh in the mind. But thanks for listening. We will talk to y'all next time. Peace.